Cool.
It is yummy.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Couch Co-op Show. Blah, 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 blah. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
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 Not all
Yeah.
beard out after yesterday?
Never.
I,
No.
Man, I didn't drink a ton. My standard 3 beers
Yeah.
when I go out.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, it
see.
was the
Oh,
3
boy.
beers I had when I got home that was a problem for me.
Yeah,
I
I could
didn't even
see
drink
that.
after I got home. I just went right to water, pretty much.
Well, I'm joined with Jared, Dave, and Aaron again.
Oh,
Good evening.
Hello.
How's everybody doing? And this week it's Dave's choice. Dave, what beer did you choose?
I chose a stereotypical West Coast IPA. Pretty much one of my favorite breweries, Lagunitas. I just like everything they do is good, basically. And this beer's been around a long, long time because I've been brewing beer for many, many years, and this was always one that people are always trying to clone, and it's just
yeah.
hoppy, delicious goodness.
Our first not Oregon beer.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, the other advantage of this is they were bought up by Heineken, so it's actually available all over the place. I've seen it in England. I've seen it, seen it on the continent, and it's available on the
Awesome.
East Coast, the West Coast.
Should we pop them?
Oh, yeah. You ready?
3,
1,
2, 1, go.
Ah.
That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
So I'm drinking the
Yes.
bottle, and you guys have all got the gas station can. Again,
That's
like
right.
like last week's beer, it's become a lot more popular to get those 19-ounce cans.
Yeah, this stuff
I didn't
is-
bring a glass because I got a bottle.
I just brought a glass because I get sometimes bored of drinking out of a can. So,
Got a really good amber color. That's
Cheers.
really nice.
Looks like a classic looking beer.
It's
Yeah.
actually quite dark, really.
A lot of
Like
red
modern
in it.
IPAs, isn't it?
ooh, look at that head.
I think
Oh,
it's
that's a
because
nice mug.
it's dark in my room.
No, I think
Yeah.
in general it's like a dark compared to quite
All right. Lagunitas IPA. Ruthlessly
I
delicious.
haven't had.
ABV of 6.2. Okay, what's OG? 1.059.
original gravity.
gravity.
So when you brew something, before you convert all the starches to sugar, before you put it in the fermenter, you measure what's called the original gravity, and that gives you an idea of how much sugar's in there. And then when you're done, you measure it again, and by doing some math with the two numbers, that gives you an idea of what percentage alcohol your beer is.
And then an IBU of 51.5.
Like
Available in the 12-ounce bottle, the 22-ounce bottle, on tap, the 19.2-ounce can, and the 12-ounce can.
I don't think I've ever seen it in the 22 here.
I've seen it a few times. I used to stock that stuff. That's all they did for a long while. In the
Actually,
6
yeah,
packs.
you're right. I remember they used to do it because they did. What was the other one they did that was like super strong? Yeah,
This
they
Hop
used to have an
Stupid.
imperial stout as well, didn't they?
Oh yeah. And that's did Hop Stupid as well.
Yeah, and Hop Stupid.
I was honestly looking for the 22-ounce bottle because that's what I remember from back in the day. But yeah, I was surprised when all I could find was this can.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
they're
cans took over the
It's
single
easy to
serving.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
easy
okay.
to ship, easy to store.
I don't think I've ever seen the 12-ounce can. I always see it in the bottles.
They make a 12-pack. They make 12-pack of cans. I've seen them. They're kind of hidden. It's kind of a plain.
They're relatively
It's like
new as
just
well.
in a can box form.
If you get the 12-pack, yeah, they come in the cans quite often.
But it tastes
Yeah,
really
they
good. It's
used to be
it's a
bottled.
mild IPA, I would say, a little sweeter than some.
Yeah, it doesn't hit you in the back of the jaw
It's
when you
not as
first take a
aggressive
sip.
as like modern IPAs. I mean, like I say, the beer's been around for a good decade, 2 decades, so
Right.
the tastes are a little bit different.
Yeah, this is like early on when IPAs were like just becoming a thing, and then all of a sudden, shortly after that, it kind of just IPAs everywhere, and then
But it's nice,
hazies everywhere.
well balanced beer. I like the It's got a little bit of hoppy bite on the back, and it's got some nice aroma.
Yeah.
It's a good summer IPA.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
it
got
is.
good
It's
burp.
really easy going. Of course, the can, I'm taking a look, and they do have a little paragraph that you can read, so that's fun. Should I read that?
Yeah, go on.
It says, thanks for choosing to spend the next few minutes with this fine ale. Savor the moment as the expansive hop character engages the imperial qualities of the malt foundation in combat on the battlefield of your palate. Life is uncertain. Don't sit. And then they actually leave a phone number to call, so that'd be fun. Some companies like that, bigger companies, will have a phone number where they'll just have a funny message when you give them a call. So it might be fun
The
to
bottle says
look at.
raging hop character.
Oh man,
Right.
it does say doggone good on here because their logo is like a dog,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which you can't really tell on the can because it's so huge.
No, you got
Right.
you
Well,
got
they
a little
have
puppeler up in the top corner up of the IPA.
Yeah.
Kind
They have
of,
a
kind
little-
of,
Yeah.
kind of an
way up.
off story about Lagunitas, but last night drinking the Newcastle Brown, reading the bottle, that's brewed and bottled by Lagunitas, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, that's only pretty recently though. I remember we were looking for Newcastle Brown to see because none of us had seen it for a while. And
Well, I imagine Heineken's owned them for a while, and they just having Lagunitas brew
Yeah.
in America.
yeah, I imagine Heineken has so many different breweries that brew different beers that it's like pick one.
Yeah. They definitely. That's their thing.
This stuff's almost too easy to drink for an IPA. Like I expected, like a lot of IPAs when they're a little bit stronger, they just like send this little surge to the back of your jaw, like it's just attacking you. And this one was just kind of rolled right over the tongue. It's pretty nice.
Citrusiness going to it.
But kind of along the lines of what Dave said last week about the Kawanda Ale, I haven't had this in a while, and it was never a big favorite of mine. I would almost say it's forgettable compared to all the IPAs that are out right now. Like this one is just kind of a mild, like a light IPA that I'm probably never going to drink.
Thank you, Ian. I was actually going to say something similar to that.
Would you call it a beginner's IPA? If you want to step into IPAs for your first time, would this be a good starter?
I guess. I mean, but it's also... But at the same time, it's kind of like not what IPAs are nowadays traditionally. So like,
no,
so you're good, if you're gonna drink this and say, "Oh, I really like IPAs," and then you go drink an IPA, you're gonna get your brain blown away.
Yeah, this is like that. It's only 1 or 2 steps away from an English style IPA. It's not super alcoholic. It's not super hoppy. It's well balanced. And it's a darker color, whereas a modern IPAs are very tend to be very blonde.
It's also really clean. There's not like a lot of sediment in it. It's.
Yeah.
I go back to this beer every so often, but
it's like if a lager and an IPA, but this stuff kind of had a baby. That's kind of what it's the best way to show, because it drinks fast. It has the IPA kind of hit, but not like, oof, this is an IPA, all right, thing to it. But it definitely feels kind of like an IPA, but honestly, I wouldn't drink this again for a while. It's good to have.
Going back to what Jared said, if you wanted to get into IPAs, would this be a good start? I mean, yes, if you're going in knowing that IPAs are going to be hoppy, this is a good starter one.
Yep.
But if if you're like a fluent IPA guy and you drink a lot of IPAs and never had this beer, you might be let down because it's not.
This is almost like pale ale compared to a modern IPA, isn't it? It's not like
exactly
super strength, super hoppy, super malty.
It's a strong,
nice and clean
ale.
But I don't know if I would. I mean, maybe because it's light, I could pick it out of a lineup pretty easily. But I don't know. It is good. I mean, I would say it's good. I'm gonna mirror kind of what Dave said about the Kawanda last week. I just feel like it's kind of unremarkable to me ultimately.
It seems to be on the edge of a standard IPA and a session IPA. It's like not quite session because it's not light enough IBU, but but it's up there enough to
good.
where it's just like at the bottom, low level of just an IPA. But
It's a pretty beer.
it's really easy
Yeah.
to drink. So if you want to get trashed real fast on beer, I'd recommend this because you'd be able to pound it back pretty good.
Just the taste of this makes me think of like nice summer days, just out at a barbecue. If you wanted an IPA that you could, have a couple of.
I'd probably go so many different routes though.
Oh.
I go for this is like a good, like, if you want to chill out in the back patio before you eat and you just want to have a little bit of a drunk session.
This is a beer like, this is what you have. I'll drink it, sure.
Yeah.
It's cold,
Right.
it's alcoholic, and it's got some taste to it. So yeah.
Yeah, it has a bit of taste. It's not like
No, I know what you mean, and I really still like this beer, but it's a very crowded IPA market to what it used to.
Oh, for sure.
You can
really
this did stand out like originally because there weren't that many IPAs and there weren't that many good IPAs.
Right.
This is hoppy, it's drinkable, it's approachable. Whereas now, like you look at some of the IPAs that are out there, and the IBUs are a lot higher. The alcohol is boosted.
I mean, I guess if I was a huge IPA fan, I'd be more on your side, Dave. Like if you just wanted that light IPA, that kind of thing. But being that it's not my favorite area of beer, it just seems kind of.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Super into
really.
it.
No, and
Right.
I would totally agree that it, like in the modern beer scene, it really doesn't stand out as much.
Yeah.
But in some respects, sometimes that's the mark of good beers, is that they are like.
Oh, for sure.
Sometimes they're almost unremarkable in how good they are.
Right.
Because there's nothing you can really put your finger on as to,
But I do like when some IPAs are a bit lighter like this, because sometimes it seems like an IPA when you buy it, it's actually just trying to attack your mouth.
For sure.
It's a little too much going on. So this is
You're brutal with your criticisms.
that's all right. But I don't know, some of those. It's been a while, but like when Voodoo Ranger came out, it's like super like right in your face, and they actually reformulated that and it made it a little smoother and easy going.
Yeah, that's one thing I find about the hops on this as well, is they stay with you a little while after you've drunk it, but they don't totally like feel like they're nuking your palate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the hops are on your tongue. You can tell you drank an IPA, but it's not like offensive.
But this does have also the malt on it, and that it has that beer taste.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
A lot of modern IPAs don't, if you know what I mean. It's like
I like this one tastes like beer.
Well, it's interesting because like on their website, on this beer's website page, it says that it's made with 43 different hops and 65 various malts.
Wait, what? Damn.
No wonder no wonder like in the home brewing, no one can ever give a recipe that matches to make this.
No
But I
kidding.
don't know how is that even possible? I mean, that seems crazy.
You'd have to spend a good amount of money for it, though. Yeah. But
you forget they make a ton of beer, so I mean, they're probably going through hundreds of pounds of hops. So 43 different
gotta improvise
hops,
somewhere.
and you can buy like a bundle of each and mix them all up.
Yeah, that's wild.
You would think that would make the beer wildly inconsistent, though. No.
No, they probably just get the same.
Not with modern hops, because modern hops you can actually they're pretty well defined, if you know what I mean.
But how much is a hop affected on a growing season? Like if the growing season's not great, will it just not be as tasteful?
It'll just get less bitterness per pound. Flavor-wise, it'll probably stay about the same. It's just you'll need more of that hop to get the same amount of bitterness, or less of that hop, depending on, and that's where the magic comes in, for want of a better thing. But with an IPA as well, the other thing is, it's not like someone's got one of these from 2-3 years ago and is, A/B taste testing. I'm sure they do at the factory, but
Yeah.
out in the public, so it probably can vary a little bit.
Well, I noticed that some places they just kind of throw it out there as like a tasting room itself, and if it does well in the tasting room, how fast it runs out, that will be their like seasonal. Like when I went to the Deschutes room in Bend, they had a lot of weird, like very high end beers there that didn't I haven't seen since the tap room. So it's like they either just keep it exclusively to that area, or we're gonna bring it to everybody, like their Dissonant series or their
Well,
really.
yeah, 10 Barrel did that with the Pearl IPA, because I remember going downtown and trying, and they had 3 or 4 different IPAs that all the various brew pubs in the 10 Barrel lot had brewed, and they were all on tap. And I've enjoyed using that as the kind of market research as to what the next IPA and what the flavors are going to be.
That would be fun to be a part of.
Oh,
But
God, yes.
Lagunitas is a fantastic place to visit. If you're ever down in the San Francisco Bay Area, it's about 40 minutes north, I want to say.
Well, there's more than that. Also, they've spread.
Yes.
So, like, there's one in Seattle,
they have
and there's
different
also one in
breweries.
Chicago.
Yep.
So, Dave's been. Have you been, Aaron? Jared?
No, I want to.
And then
No.
if you go down there, it's definitely worth the 20-minute trip up to. Make sure you have a designated driver, but Russian River as well.
Yeah.
And you can try Pliny the Elder and Pliny the Younger, and those are fantastic beers.
Dave, at John's Market, by the way, they have a whole row of those in the Multnomah one. I saw it there the other day when I was picking out my birthday beers. So
You weren't
might
online
wanna-
when I said I've got a case of that coming up from California.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I'll be good for Pliny the Elder for a while. We may even try that on the show. And my feeling is that Pliny the Elder might end up in this kind of category with your descriptions, as it's, because again, it's a beer that's well balanced, but it's been around a long time, and
So I remember when Pliny came out, like it was so hard to get a hold of. You actually had to use a code word, a code phrase to get Pliny. Is got any Pliny? That's literally what you had to say. Otherwise, you would not. If you weren't a local, you wouldn't get it.
That's funny.
They'd say the phrase "got any Pliny," but now they have it just right there. Grab as much as you want.
No, but Lagunitas is like they have a really big it's like really big industrial commercial brewery, and then they have like a nice kind of party area with a tap room and all the rest of it. And I went down before all the virus and all the rest of it. And it was pretty busy, but it wasn't ridiculously busy. They had some interesting like sour beers and all sorts of stuff going on, really, as well as the regular beers. I think they had about 16 or 24 beers on tap.
Cool.
Because they do a wide selection of beers anyway. So I would say about half of them were available, at least in our area, in bottles and cans.
Have you only been to the San Francisco tap room?
Yeah, I've only been down to the San Francisco or Petaluma actually, but yeah.
I didn't realize they had a Seattle one, as I would have went there instead of Elysian and got food poisoning.
Oh, ouch!
Oh. You guys ready to rate this beer?
Mm-hmm.
Want to thumb it?
Yep.
I like this one. I'm giving
Yeah, I like it. It's very, very drinkable.
Two thumbs horizontal. Two dead soldiers.
So this is a beer. It's been around a long time for a reason. Its drinkability is very high because it's just so. It seems very basic to today's standards because it's been around so long. And yeah, so I think it's its drinkability has, put it up at the top of the IPA scale. People, when they think about an IPA, they'll probably think Lagunitas, at least in this area on the West Coast. So I think there's some reason it's still in the top tier.
Oh, it's interesting. Actually, Heineken had only, in 2015, they only bought 50 shares. It wasn't until recently that they bought the other half.
Oh.
This beer was introduced in 1995, not 1955.
Yeah, the brewery was founded in 1993.
Yeah, I wasn't even old enough to drink back then, even in England.
Hey, same here. But I was only 8.
The Chicago one sounds like a huge-ass brewery.
Yeah, they have a massive one on the East Coast, I believe, as well.
I think. Anyway.
Cool.
But yeah, this is definitely one of those breweries. If you see the beers, you should check them out because they're always drinkable and they're always interesting. And even if you don't like the style, and they do some sours and things that I don't really care for, but that's because I don't like that style. But they do a couple of really good, or they used to, and I haven't seen them for a while. But they do a couple of good imperial stouts in like.
Oh yeah, stouts are
the other thing
bomb.
you have to
I'll
watch
give 'em that
out
much.
for is that they do a couple of beers that are in the like 9-10% range. They do tend to get a little strong at times, but
It's interesting little in December 2014, Lagunitas filed a lawsuit against Sierra Nevada Brewing Company over the use and style of the letters IPA on their label.
Oh, interesting.
That's an interesting little thing to sue over.
The lawsuit,
Yeah, I know.
the lawsuit was dropped a month later after public outcry.
Yeah.
Don't be douchebags.
Yeah, that's a little
right.
crap.
There's
Come on.
only so much you can do, really, with a lawsuit.
I mean, in the end, yeah, it's
Come on,
like
guys.
IPA is
Get
one
the
of
hell outta
the
here.
foundational beer styles, isn't it? It's like really you can't trademark or patent the letters IPA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no.
wild.
Because someone will just come back to you with a ship's log from the 1800s that, you know.
Yeah, I know kidding.
Using those
and they
initials.
can sue you, and they can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's fun.
Oh, Ian has one more question for you, Dave.
I have one more question, yes. To tie this into the Couch Co-op family of podcasts. No, I just thought it'd be fun. Like, if you could pair this beer with a video game, what would that game be?
Gosh. I was thinking about that earlier, and it was kind of difficult. And so my first thought was like the citrusy notes of the hops, but that led nowhere. But then I was looking at the dog on the bottle, and I'm thinking any game that involves lots of fetch quests. I'm thinking like Grand Theft Auto would be a
All right.
a good candidate.
Which
for that
one?
series.
Which Grand Theft Auto?
Ooh, I don't know. Number 5, probably.
Number 5. Okay, so no one can pick Grand Theft Auto 5 ever again.
Damn it. Okay.
And then my next question, it's Aaron's choice next week. Aaron, what are we drinking next week?
Next week, we're going to do ourselves some Tecate from Mexico.
Nice.
So there'll
Yes.
be the action going.
I had to put the beers that we swapped somewhere else other than my fridge because
In your
I was
belly.
worried. I was
You're
worried
just gonna
that
go buy
someone
them all again.
someone would come over and drink it. You know.
Right.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
Easter this weekend, and there'll be a couple of
I
people
gotta be honest.
here.
I'm more afraid
Well,
I'm
at
just
least
gonna
you
drink
know
them.
Tecate's not hard to find. So
Yeah, right.
if you
No, it's
decided you
everywhere.
really needed one, Dave.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
go out
I
and
know.
get one if you needed it. I just...
Is it Tecate or
wasn't on
Tecat?
that. I
Anyway,
don't know.
I've always called it Tecat.
and then I have a little story that I think I shared with you guys, but I'll share with the podcast. Is last week we tried the Coanda Cream Ale from
Yes,
what's the name of the brewery again? Pelican. Brewery.
Pelican.
And you know, I was a middling thumbs on that horizontal thumb, but my daughter saw it in the fridge, and when she went shopping with my wife, she's like, "Oh, I'll get him some beer that he likes." So she got me a 22-ounce can of that, or a 20-ounce can of that, which I'm grateful for. I mean, I'll enjoy it and I'll drink it. It's not like, oh man, you bought me.
You could have brought it up yesterday and just given it to Jared. He loves that shit.
Watermelon
Right.
sour. Oh.
Dude, that watermelon IPA by that fucking, what is that company?
Hello,
Oh,
21st
That's a
Amendment.
21st
fucking
Amendment.
awful beer, dude.
It's not the greatest thing.
I
don't know
remember
where they
Jared
got
brought
off
some of
with
that for one year for my birthday. So,
Sorry.
Tecate. Does he say it?
Tecate?
Tecate.
Tecate.
Tecate. All right.
Tecate.
Tecate.
Okay.
All right, Tecate. All
Tecate.
right.
Yeah. I always like to go to Google and search for how do you pronounce.
Because I'm sure
Whatever
that's
word.
100% accurate.
Oh,
Yeah, to be
yes,
fair, though, I've heard
100%.
them say something else entirely. Like,
Oh, here's the British
Salisbury.
They probably say
Salisbury.
Tecate. It's
Yeah.
Tecate.
Here's the British pronunciation.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You don't need that.
Tecate.
Tecate?
Tecate.
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 Tecate. Sounds like a little
There you
kid.
go.
Oh, jeez. Anyway.
You don't need no phone to tell you that. You don't need...
I was gonna say we have a British translator. for that.
No, it's funny because I selected other options, and that was the only other option.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank all the listeners and watch. Well, you can watch it on YouTube, and you can watch us drink the beer. So if you go to youtube.com/milkmanpictures, you can see us do this show. You can also see us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/ the Couch Co-op Show. But most of you are going to be most of you are going to be checking us out on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else we might be. And yeah, so you can go to our Twitter if you want to reach out, and you can go to what is that, couch_hop. Or we moved our podcast host provider to Anchor.fm.
Anchor.
And there's the cool thing about we haven't even talked about this. Anchor.fm / the Couch Co-op Show, all one word, no hyphen.
No. Damn it.
You can actually leave us voice messages on that website, and then I can put those voice messages in the show.
That would be a lot of fun.
So
what are you drinking?
Yeah, so if you want to, and on top of that, and another crazy stupid fucking thing you can do on Anchor.fm / the Couch Co-op Show, all one word.
No hyphen.
You can leave us. You can donate money to us, which is crazy, right?
Beer,
so if you want to pick a beer, and then
if
you donate money and you can pick a beer, and then we'll do a beer for you. Anyway. Not that we need that. We're not really asking for that, but that is something you can totally fucking do. Anyway, so a lot of cool things. Moving to this new host seems to be working out pretty well. And yeah, so check it out. And leave us some comments. Leave us a message. I really just want voice messages. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I know, right? Yeah, user requests.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
How are we gonna? I haven't even really decided how we're gonna end this show. Really, like all right, it's over.
Well, you can do your electric guitar jingle yourself, Ian. You haven't played in a while. You could jam down and do something.
Get the uke down.
Yeah. Get some. You got a bunch of guitars right next to you. Yeah, anyway, jam something.
I don't want to jam anything. Well, I mean, this is obviously evolving. It's going to continue to evolve. So, anyway, I want to thank Jared, Dave, and Aaron for joining me on the couch. And,
always.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week.
Peace out.
Bye. See ya. Bye, everybody.
Drink responsible.
Yeah, don't drink and drive.
No drinking and driving. Drink and sit.
Yeah, Dave, I was noticing your PS1 controller there.
That's from the PlayStation Mini. It's
funny.
funny.
Yeah, I figured. That's funny.